So, 2025 has come to an end. Normally, I would try to put together a New Year's video or a little tribute video for Christmas, but I haven't done much on the channel, and I figured it'd be way more appropriate to mix it up a little and try something new. 2025 was my first year trying to tackle two channels at the exact same time. So I figured now would be a good chance to grade what exactly I was able to do within this time and take a look at what I can do to improve and what type of content to create going forward next year. First things first, why did I even do this in the first place? Ever since 2020, I started doing a bit more videos that didn't involve Sonic at all, like my Fate video with Muramasa from Fate Grand Order, or my Fire Emblem AMV. It did surprisingly well for first timers, but I noticed a small problem, and that's it wasn't Sonic. Some people who are there just to watch Sonic sprite videos aren't going to watch something from Fate Grand Order or Fire Emblem. The guys who subscribed and watched my Muramasa video aren't going to watch Sonic Sprite videos or Fire Emblem AMVs. And same for Fire Emblem. If I somehow get away with making more Fire Emblem stuff because how Nintendo is, and vice versa. So I figured the best way to avoid a overflux of too many different people wanting different stuff from my channel was to just make a backup channel to focus on that type of content. This also gave me an excuse to finally start doing video essays that I've been talking about trying to tackle for about 2 years, namely a video essay on 100 girlfriends who really love you. It wasn't actually that long and more just me yapping, but I was able to get that done finally. And it was pretty fun. I didn't really care how well it did. I just wanted to talk about this series I finally got around to starting. And that's the same for these other shorts I've been doing. The main problem with them being on the Sonic channel was it would take too much attention away from the Sonic stuff. So it's just better if I do it this way. This also was a bit of a motivator for me to get around to actually writing scripts for my stuff. I'm used to just keeping it all in my head because it was easier for me back then. But now that I'm so busy, I can't afford to do that anymore. And it also helps with keeping track of the dialogue with Speaktonia for Sonic Avenger and the Sonic Shadow and Silver show. Which brings us to the backup channel itself, Flash of the Sun. It was originally just a joke me and some of the Fate guys were making on the Type Moon Amino. And I figured, well, I need a new name, and that's where I went. The first video on the channel was the previously mentioned video essay of 100 Girlfriends. It was pretty short, but I'm happy I was finally able to talk about the show. I do plan on going back to remake that video later down the line to go more in depth, but for a first attempt, I'm pretty happy with what I was able to do. The video essay was done, so I wanted to move on to the next level to get myself more used to talking. Season 2 of 100 Girlfriends was about to come out the day I dropped that video, so I said, let's try weekly reviews. I didn't know if I would be able to handle that with my schedule, but I wouldn't know unless I tried. So I covered the first episode, I missed the second, and I just bunched it together with the third episode. And I stopped about at episode 4. Overall, it was pretty fun, but I stopped because I kind of just had to. And now we get to the sad part of this video. Just brace yourself. this is going to get a little deep, and unfortunately, to provide enough context, I do have to get a little political here. 2025 just wasn't my year. Ever since Valentine's Day, it just hit me all at once after trying to just ignore it, how bad things were getting to the point where I couldn't sleep for like 3 days straight, and I had to start taking some medication to help me with it. And it got better slowly after switching, but it all just came ahead that I had to accept I was going through depression thanks to, well, living in the US. Trump, AI, the state of media in general, it was all too much. And I needed time off. I couldn't work on not just Flash of the Burning Sun, I couldn't work on sprite videos at all, let alone write the script for editing those sprites. So I needed time to myself. I talked to some family, like my brother 100 Hypersonic, some really close friends of mine, and they were really supportive and helped me get through it. It's still not the way things used to be, but I am thankfully getting better. This wasn't originally here, but after Twitter did the recent AI edit thing, that was my wake up call to just leave the site altogether. And now I'm mostly just on Blue Sky. It's still not great overall, but I am doing a lot better. And now for the big elephants in the room with my Super Sentai video and my Power Rangers video. The Super Sentai thing was just a one time thing. I'm not doing more stuff like that, and I'm probably going to delete it altogether at one point. I don't really watch Super Sentai, and I don't really want any horse in the race of the Toku fandom just kind of tearing each other apart more than I already have to just trying to defend the two shows I do love. As for the Power Ranger thing, as mentioned in that video, I am a massive Power Rangers fan and Kamen Rider fan, and I'm very curious to see where this project is going. So I may make a few more Power Rangers videos down the line, but don't expect me to do more meme stuff of me picking on Super Sentai or Power Rangers or Kamen Rider again. Unless maybe I'm just in a random bored mood and want to pick on Ghost or Samurai. But overall, I'm not going to do videos like the Sentai one again. So, overall, the second channel has a total of 8 videos overall. And I think that's pretty good. A few 100 Girlfriends, one Power Rangers video, some Fire Emblem AMVs, and it does give me an idea on what people want to see. I will be talking more about anime and manga on here. The anime portion is going to be a little hard because I have to make it look interesting, but I also need to find a way to avoid copyright law to do that by just not showing footage on screen. I will say this, I'm not going to do weekly videos anymore. Even without my mental health, it was pretty clear that I just don't have the schedule to do weekly videos in a healthy way for my work schedule or my sleeping habits. It's just not working out. But I will finish reviewing season two. It also gives me an excuse to at least go back and do season one because now season three has been announced and also gives me enough reason to go back and read some chapters of the manga to talk about those. A video series I think about doing every now and then is talk about some main characters or just characters in fiction in general who are very misinterpreted or misunderstood. Right off the top of my head is our blue boy Sonic himself, Goku, and Naruto. But I don't want to do it too much because it will give me a image that I'm mostly just being negative, and I want to try and make my backup channel a bit more positive because there's just so much negativity going around in the world right now. But I still do want to talk about those, especially for Naruto, because unfortunately, because the series is a little over 20 years old at this point, there's so much misconceptions about this character and this series. I just have to stand up for my boy. Another thing that I really want to use this new channel for is just talking about some underrated gems that go unnoticed a lot for XYZ reason. Like this little manga that came out a couple years ago called This Senpai is After My Life. There's Farming Life in Another World, Skeleton Knife in Another World. There's so much, and no one's really talking about it because there's always going to be an oversaturation of media. So I figured there's no better time like the present to find the time and place to talk about them. Okay, that's enough about the backup channel. Let's talk about the main channel that most of you are here for, Flash the Shapeshafter. Unfortunately, like I said when I made the announcement, I'm going to be a lot less active on the main channel because I want to build up the portfolio for the new one. Only made in total 4 videos on the main channel this year, not counting this one, of course. Metal Sonic with Ultron's Marvel Rivals voice stayed on the main channel because it is still Sonic related. And I want Flash the Shapeshafter to stay a Sonic channel first and foremost. That's why this video is here, as well as my 2 videos where I directly talk about Sonic Crossworlds. I'm sure you're all tired of me saying that Sonic Avengers is not canceled, and I'm tired of saying it too. Unfortunately, stuff just keeps happening. But I am very stubborn and just want to finish telling this story. And I also want to do a bit more with Sonic, Shadow, and Silver Show. So maybe I'll be forced to try and cut some of the stuff I wanted to tell out in order to do that. But for the most part, I am content with trying to finish Flash and Maya's story. I'm not going to promise when it will be up because I just know I can't keep that promise and I can't keep a schedule either. But for the most part, I am going to start writing a script so I can memorize what needs to be said, what needs to be replaced, etc., etc. And it will come out when it comes out. I am getting back to work on the sprites because now that I have all this, let's call it feedback on what needs to be done for the backup channel, I can put a bit more focus on the main channel next year to get that back up and running. I'm probably going to make a new Sonic Shadow and Silver show episode first because they're a bit more fun to make. And me being stubborn, I won't have to worry about this dumb consistency thing because I'll have an excuse to put Flash in a fun setting again, even though he hasn't finished fighting Axel in the Avengers show that's going on right now. So maybe I'll just have it be a flashback. Maybe it'll just be treated as its own thing because that's what the shows are at this point. But expect a Sonic Shadows Silver Show episode first before Sonic Avengers. So overall, that is year 1 for running 2 channels. I think I did pretty good considering everything that was going on with my mental health and IRL stuff in general. So, like I said, I'm going to try and put more focus on Flash the Shapeshafter before going back to making video essays. In the meantime, I am also looking into learning how to do Blender stuff, but don't expect any crazy videos or something. That's just going to take way too long. and I'm playing around with other ideas at the moment in the meantime. The coolest part about all this is it gives me new ways of experimenting with DaVinci so I can find new ways to edit videos and make my sprite stuff look a bit better because I still don't really know how to pull off any of those crazy flash animation stuff, but I do want my stuff to not look as, let's say, average as they have for the past 10 years. I'm pretty excited to show you guys the new stuff I learned because DaVinci is a little intimidating, but it gives me so much more options than Windows Movie Maker, which I haven't really used in like 3 years. Now, where to find me? I'm still on DeviantArt, but I am planning on leaving at some point because the AI stuff is really, really getting to me. And like I mentioned earlier, I had a backup Twitter, but I left altogether. So my main place to hang out now is Blue Sky. I've just been interacting with different artists there with all the new custom timeline feeds going on, and I love it. Unfortunately, as of the recording of this video, Anime Amino has shut down completely without warning. So if you did want to look for me there, you can't anymore. I have a Discord, I just don't like the app at all, so I don't use it. But to recap, if you want to talk to me while I'm not making YouTube videos, go to Blue Sky or DeviantArt. That should be everything. Until next time, I'm Flash. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to both channels. I can't wait to show you guys all the cool stuff I've been planning. Here's to 2026 being better.